Hey guys, so today we'll take a look at the dash camera ROVE R2-4K. Be sure to check the links in the description below for more information, where to order, and more accessories. It's a powerful and compact friendly little camera that can record up to 4K 30p, has built-in GPS Wi-Fi, a super capacitator, and compatible with your smartphone, iOS and Android. ROVE also has their own memory card and a hard wiring kit. You can check the links in the description for more information. And they are Amazon affiliate links, so they don't cost you anything more, but it does help me out. So let's begin the unboxing. You'll get your user manual, some quick tips along with customer service card, cable hiding clips and some square stickers, a wet cleaning pad, 12 feet power cable and a 2.5 feet data cable, wire trim tool, your USB adapter charger, sticky mount, suction mount, electrostatic films for sticky mount, and the camera unit. And at first glance, my initial impressions were very good. The camera is very compact, smooth and lightweight, and it doesn't feel cheap, but has a nice solid feel to it. A nice 2.4-inch IPS screen, a 150-degree wide-angle lens, which is a 6-glass lens f1.5 aperture, Sony IMX335. Five buttons for navigating the menu and features and functions. 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection, so you get faster speeds when you're pairing it up with your phone. You've got your power button, your micro SD card slot. There's also a TV out jack if you want to connect it to a larger screen or monitor. It uses USB Type-C. You got your reset button, speakers, and a mic. First, you need to insert your SD card. And I'll power it up using a portable battery by GoalZero Yeti 150 to mimic a car startup. I use this device to power up all my dash cams when I do the reviews. It has a standard 12-volt socket, as well as 2 USB connectors, and an AC port. And I find it very convenient to use, portable when you need power on the go. See the link in the descriptions if you're interested in something like this from GoalZero. So as soon as you connect it to the dash cam and you power it up, the unit will turn on, and because it's the first time, it'll ask you to format the memory card, which you should do.
Format successful.
Once that's completed, you can set the date and time. Using the 5 buttons on the bottom, you can navigate the settings. OK means confirm. The menu button will toggle you through the options. The OK button is for OK, to accept. The up and down arrows to go left and right, up and down. As soon as the dash cam is powered on, it will begin to record automatically. To stop recording, just press the OK button once. To start recording again, press the OK button again. Now press the menu button to go into the video settings. In the video resolution, you can see there's a whole bunch of options, up to 4K 30 frames, or 1080p, 30p, 60p, as well as 2.5K. You have loop recording, set how long you want each file to record for. Video recording G sensor, 9 is for high impact, and you can set it. 0 means off. 1 is a high sensitivity, which means it'll trigger at a very low impact. Wide dynamic range. For better footage quality when it's overexposed or underexposed, I would recommend to leave it on. Exposure, time-lapse record, 4 frames a second, 2 frames a second, 1 frame a second. Video compression, H.264, H.265, I would recommend to leave it at the default. 24-hour parking monitor. You'll need the hardwiring kit for this so that it's connected directly to your car battery. This will keep the dashcam active for 24 hours in order for you to record collisions or activity around the car 24 hours around the clock while the car is off. You can record the audio or mute it. Video stamps, speed unit, kilometers and miles per hour. Hide status icons. You can choose how long you want it to stay on the screen. Sometimes there's a lot of clutter, and if you prefer not to see it, set it to off. Here's an example. Lots of icons and information happening right now on the screen. Live speed and compass. It'll actually tell you what direction you're heading. And the option to rotate the video. Press the menu button and go into general settings. You can turn on the Wi-Fi. Turning it on allows your phone to be connected to the unit. Here's how it looks. Wi-Fi mode. Date and time, date format, time format. GPS time zone setting, screensaver settings. Screen brightness. Beep sound. If it annoys you, you can turn it off. Speaker volume. Voice guidance, which gives you voice prompts on your camera, which could be handy. Here's an example.
The camera is not recording the video.
Boot up tone. TV mode. License plate. Frequency. GPS info. GPS format. LED status indicator. Storage space. And go back to default settings. When you're recording, you can choose to mute the audio recording only if you want by clicking the mute button.
Audio recording on.
You can also turn the LCD off.
The display is off. Video is recording.
And the lock button in the middle will lock and protect the current video file that's being recorded so that it protects it from being accidentally deleted.
Current loop video is now locked.
There's also photo mode, so you can take pictures. And to play back, to see your video and photos, just hold the menu button for 2 seconds. Using the up and down arrows, you can select which file you want to view. Click OK. You can even fast forward, speed up to 8 times, or slow down the video footage you're watching. Now let's take a look at how you connect it to your smartphone. You'll first need to go to the Play Store and download the ROVE R2-4K app. Once you have installed it on your phone, be sure to turn on your Wi-Fi on the dashcam. Then in your phone, look for the Wi-Fi device from your dashcam. Tap on it to connect. You'll also be given a default password in your dashcam. Just sign up, make an account for free. And then choose your dashcam that you want to connect to. Once it's connected, you'll now be able to see live video from your dash cam on your phone. And from your phone, you can start recording, stop recording. Switch the modes from photo to video. And you can even play back videos on your smartphone and watch them there. You can also download the video footages from your dash cam to your smartphone. Let's mount the suction cup so that we'll set it up in the car and take a look at some footage. It just slides in the groove. And you can adjust the tightness on the suction mount to your liking. Here's an example of how it looks when I set it up. And now let's take a look at some sample footages from the daytime at 1080p 60 frames a second.
Recording started.
This is the best setting to me because the image is very clear, sharp, and at 60 frames a second captures more detail and you don't get as much motion blur.
Recording started.
For higher details, you can use 2K at 30 frames per second. And the highest settings, 4K at 30 frames a second. Keep in mind, at 4K, you're using the memory a lot faster and each video file size is going to be significantly larger. Some nighttime footage at 1080p 60 frames a second. Colors are vivid, picture quality is excellent, with a little audio test as well.
Mic test 1 2 3. Mic test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3. Audio test 1 2 3.
And don't forget, this dash cam has super capacitor built in, which basically makes your dash cam much more durable and lasts much longer because it's able to withstand extreme temperatures, either hot or cold, than your standard regular battery. Overall, I really like the ease of use, the compact design, the quality of the footages, the options and features that are available in this camera, and the ability to pair it up with your smartphone so that you can remote control it and view playback directly all from your smartphone. For more information on this camera and where to order it, plus the accessories, don't forget to check the links below in the description. And also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below and I'll do my best to answer them. And if this was helpful for anyone out there, don't forget to give a like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.